The traffickers are hunting for those who are experimenting with promiscuity.
Large crowds expected, of course, for the World Cup, also bringing the risk of human trafficking. That's the message from city officials today, with the World Cup now just 2 months away.
Law enforcement and advocates are raising awareness, hoping more people learn the tools to spot victims.
The excitement is growing in Houston for the highly anticipated FIFA World Cup. And people like Rhonda Kirkendall says it's also setting the stage.
We have to start educating parents on this issue, educating them that we need to start talking about this at younger and younger ages, and really normalizing the conversation and how to protect kids.
We know that there's traffickers all over the place, but we also know there's far more predators that are customers of the trafficker. The predators are everywhere, and they look like regular businessmen. They look like men at church. They look like homeless. They look like everything. But so do the protectors. We all are that same way. But here's the answer to your question of how do we stay safe out there? And the best thing you can do is to recognize that the traffickers are hunting for those who are experimenting with promiscuity.
The cartel and other nefarious figures are doing is they're creating fake travel agencies to lure people from all around the world to Mexico in order to detain them and enslave them. And this particular guy, make a long story short, was eventually trafficked to Mexico. He got to Mexico. He was abducted. He was put in a very fancy house and mansion in Mexico. In that house were 100 people, men, women, and children from all around the world who were lured to this particular place with the hopes that they would be able to be crossed into America. In this house, the women were used for sex trafficking, the kids were used to move drugs into the U.S., and the men were ordered to pay a specific amount of money. They have their families pay $9,000, and after their families paid the $9,000, they were executed. So there's multiple facets to human trafficking.
Most people don't know the definition of trafficking.
Okay.
Because what they do not know, that's when they speak in error of it because it hasn't happened to them.
Right.
As I said this before, people associate human trafficking with the movie Taken, and they associate it with some great scheme of being taken in the back of a white truck and ran down over a boat overseas and then never being heard of in the next 90 hours. But this is not a movie. This is actual real life. And some people live in a traffic situation for years before they can and by the time they're escape the situation, that means that the abuser or the trafficker no longer has need of them. And by the time they're released, they have no mental capacity to survive in the world without someone literally watching over them. And there's cases like that if you research and see where when they get out, they live their life just, sheltered. They're afraid of everything because they live so abused. So it's not easy when it comes to trafficking situations.
Yeah. And then people don't want to acknowledge the brainwashing, the manipulation.
Yeah.
You're abused, you're traumatized, you're staying in it. Why they stay in it? They could just run.
What makes this process so effective is that nothing feels forced. There is no sudden shift, no clear moment where everything changes. It's gradual, it feels natural. And because of that, it's difficult to recognize when trust starts turning into something else. From the outside, everything may still look normal. Just two people talking, interacting, building a connection. There may be no visible signs that anything deeper is happening. And because of that, it becomes even harder to question. This is why awareness is so important. Understanding that trust can be built with intention helps people stay more aware of how connections develop. It's not about avoiding every interaction or becoming suspicious of everyone. It's about paying attention to how quickly trust is formed, how influence begins, and how situations evolve over time. Because the truth is, trust is powerful. It shapes decisions, it lowers defenses, it creates connection. But when it is built with the wrong intentions, it can also be used in ways people don't expect. So what can you do? Take your time getting to know people. Don't rush trust. Stay connected to others in your life so you always have perspective. Ask questions when something feels off. And most importantly, trust your instincts, especially when something feels too perfect, too fast. Because in many situations, it doesn't start with control. It starts with trust. And understanding that is the first step to staying aware, staying grounded, and staying in control of your own decisions. We're here to raise awareness on sex trafficking. Your voice matters. Join us.